The start was real disappointing, more with our decision-making and skill errors. They just cost us that many goals. It wasn't funny. I thought, they were crashing in at the start. Some of our clearing stuff wasn't good, but some of our mistakes that we did to cost us goals really hurt us. So, I was a little bit critical of some of the efforts at some of our stoppages in the first quarter. But after that, I thought they were trying, but just our skill level was really poor, and that put us under a lot of pressure, that created a lot of turnovers, and that gave us the 10 goal to one start.
Manny, were you more frustrated by the start or more encouraged by the performance in the last quarter? Which do you sort of feel more?
Frustrated by the start because it cost you the game straight away. Our ability to fight it out and make sure it wasn't a result of the last 2 weeks. I know we weren't playing a top four side, but we were playing a side that were up and about in the first quarter. So to be able to fight back there and keep going through it and see some of the young talent in Butcher and Lobe and Trengove and Banner come through in tough circumstances, from day one, I thought showed a bit for the footy club.
Was that Trengove's best game for the club, do you think?
I think he's played some pretty good ones last year for us as a ruck and as a forward, and he's been okay this year too. But it was right up there considering how much ball was coming down. And for him, he really wanted to bounce back after his poor game last week. So I think it shows the level of maturity in him and what he's about in his footy career.
And Butcher, obviously, as well, you must be absolute. I know it was a bad loss, but that were a couple of positives. John Butcher was outstanding.
Yeah, Butch was again. We know what he can do in the air. I thought his conversion for goal was obviously pretty good. But what also he brings a lot of pressure when the ball hits the ground, and that's a real pleasing thing to see, that he just keeps working at it, and due diligence to him for what he's been working on over the last 6 months. And it's frustrating for him not to get a game, but he just keeps going at it, and he gets his just rewards.
Matthew, it's easy to say you just can't wait for this season to end.
No, not really, because I like to see what we get out of, what we've been able to get out of Butcher, and see guys bounce back after having setbacks. And this week we're playing a team who I would say are going to play a final, treat this week's game as a final, and we're playing away from home. So I'll see which guys want to put their hand up and look forward to playing in that environment, and see who does want to get something out of the year. So I think we've got a lot to learn as a group and as individuals.
You've been saying that a lot about who wants to put up their hand and what you'll get. Are some of them now giving you the answer already that you don't need anymore? That you can make some clear decisions about this?
Look, we're obviously getting closer to that, Rooch. What they can say is what they can do in the second half. They show they are capable of playing a good brand of footy and moving the ball and doing things is what we want to do. And but the frustrating part for us and the supporters, it turned out, I know it wasn't a great crowd out there, but at least they come out to watch us, and they would have been frustrated by how we're playing in the first quarter and probably the first half, but to see what we're able to do in the second half. So, but once again, it's not sustainable what we did in the first quarter, and it's also not acceptable, not up to AFL level. So we've got to realise that and keep working on it.
When you say not up to AFL level, what issues are not up there? Clearly, fitness doesn't seem to be up to that level.
Yeah, look, our inability to spread as good as, I was going to say the good teams, but even the teams that aren't travelling well, inability to spread from contested situations and stoppages.
Just some of the basic, let's just do the basic one, fitness, skills.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the fitness, the ability to spread out and get out of a small area to get loose ball gets or to get handball receives and those sorts of things has definitely hasn't been up to AFL standard this year.
Skills?
Skills. When we're under extreme pressure, skills are. We put ourselves under a lot of pressure, and we put our backline under a lot of pressure by how much ball we let in there. I think if we could break even and have 50-50 inside 50s each, we'd be okay. But we put ourselves under that much immense pressure. We find we turn the ball over a lot, and that's been something that's bobbed up a lot this year.
Talent?
No, I think there's talent there. Look, we need our more mature bodies to keep playing at a better level. But individually, I see talent come through in periods in games or for quarters and stuff like that. So I'm still enthused by what we have there on the list. But we need to get a bigger overall contribution from more players than just like today was a Trengove, Butcher, Banner, Lobe. It's had some other players that played okay, but we need a more even contribution. Can't rely on them to get us over the line.
What about understanding of the game?
I thought the way they stuck to the plan how we wanted to set up was okay. It was just our inability with the ball. I thought in the first quarter copped it, and we were able to stop the stoppage stuff after quarter time. I think after quarter time they kicked a point or one goal from stoppage, so we were able to stop that. Then all the goals off the turnover bit us on the backside. So they're getting better with that, and they're learning with that. But as I say, we've got another step up next week in the environment we're going to play in over there.
So if we stand here in 12 months' time,
Yep.
with everything that you've got coming your way in the next 4 months, how much better can you be?
Look, I'm not going to put a number on wins or losses and that sort of stuff, but I'd like to think we're in a lot better position than where we are. So where that means you are depends on how every other team's going, but there's only one way to go for us, and that's up.
Matty, you obviously pulled the guys aside behind closed doors for a bit at the end of the game. What was your main message to them?
Look, I let them stretch down and cool down before I spoke to them, so that was the length. It wasn't anything dramatic. It was just, we gave them a pat on the back for fighting it out, but also you cost yourself a game. Once you're 10 goals down, the game's over. So we want to win games of footy, make no mistake about that, and we just didn't give ourselves an opportunity. So, we'll have a fair look at the first quarter and understand why, because you're talking to them, but they don't actually remember every bit of play that went on. So it was more based around that, and then the expectations of what they wanted to bounce back this week. Well, we've got a big massive game for the club next week. I keep going back to it. We're going to be playing away from home in a pretty big environment. So we'll look forward to how we respond to that.
You touched on a few areas with Rouge on where you'd like to improve. Over summer, what's the absolute first area of business that you want to look at and say, we've got to get this right?
There's probably a few areas. We need to get bigger and stronger. That's one, but there's a lot of other teams that need to do that to get up with the big boys. But we need to do that. We need to be able to get a lot of our 18 to 24, 25-year-olds through another pre-season there. Most of them got through last one, and we need to do that again. But while it's exciting, looking forward to that, we've still got 2 games to go, and if we take our eye off that ball, we'll have results like we did the past fortnight and a little bit of what we had today. So we're going to make sure we don't do that.
Matty, one more on Michael Ashwell's list. Has your selection been up to AFL standard?
Yeah. Yep, we want to have a look at our club, look at our list, and we're going to play players that are in good form and deserve to play. So, yeah, there's no questions about that.
Have you made any mistakes?
Yeah, I've made lots of mistakes this year, for sure.
Have you made a mistake on the balance of seniors to juniors?
No, I'm comfortable with what I've picked and what teams we've gone into battle with.
How do you rate David Rodden's impact on the game?
Yeah, I thought it was the first time that David's been a sub and come on and impacted on the game for us, which is terrific for his mindset to be able, he hadn't been in great form, but he was able to be pretty energetic on the bench when he was there, not playing, and then when he came on, I think he nearly had as many touches as some of our midfielders who played the whole time through there. So I thought it was great for David's development to be able to handle that.
Did you think that his impact had any influence on the structure of the team?
What do you mean by that?
Supply drive.
Yeah, look, the way he plays the game, he's certainly going to get under people's guards if he's fresh compared to other teams that are wear down after the third quarter or during the third quarter. So that's going to add help to us. And we'd love Dave to be able to start like he finished off today for a full game, and that'll be his challenge over the next 2 weeks and then for the rest of his career.
And what's your understanding then of why it took 2.5 quarters for Port to even look as if they wanted to be there?
Yeah, look, I thought after quarter time we got outscored by 3 points. So I thought after quarter time we were able to match them. You might have felt the scoreboard wasn't, but I think we got outscored by 3 points since quarter time. So from quarter time we're actually able to stick with them on the scoreboard. But geez, 10 goals to 1, it's game over.
Yes, but do you have any reason for that?
Yeah, look, our skill level, we just put ourselves under far too much pressure and didn't make great decisions with the ball. And most of our skill level resulted in them kicking shots and goals. There was a bit of out of stoppage, some poor defensive work at some forward stoppage for us in the first quarter. I think that cost us 3 goals, if not 2. So that was just all that mindset there in our skill level. But after that, we were able to be okay.